Look, you've probably tried all the health hacks, the perfect diets, the crazy intense routines, only to burn out and land right back where you started. And you probably blame your willpower. But here's the thing, it's not a willpower problem, it's a design flaw. You're caught in a cycle of stress and all-or-nothing thinking that's basically hardwired to fail. Today, we're throwing out perfection and installing a sustainable system reset.
You see quotes like this all the time, right? These supercharged viral promises that just grab your attention. They offer that quick fix, that magic bullet, a way to hack the system and get results like yesterday. And let's be honest, it's incredibly tempting. We all want the answer.
Okay, let's really dig into this. Because what if the very foundation of all those perfect plans is exactly what guarantees they'll fail? What if the chase for 100% compliance is actually the biggest bug in the entire system?
You know, most diets don't fail because we're clueless about what to eat. They fail because they're built for a fantasy world, a world where you don't have birthday parties or a crazy day at work or you just simply want a cookie. They're built on this totally flawed idea of perfection.
So let's break down why this approach is just pure self-sabotage. First, it's fragile. The second real life happens, and it always does, the whole system just shatters. And that leads right into this all-or-nothing trap. You eat one chip, feel like a total failure, and that one tiny event just snowballs into a full-blown binge. And finally, it is just mentally exhausting. Nobody, and I mean nobody, can sustain that level of restriction and willpower forever.
So, what's the fix? Well, we start by installing a brand new operating principle. Let's get into our first one, the 80-20 nutrition baseline. This is all about trading the fragility of perfection for the incredible power of consistency.
So instead of this insane 100% restriction, the goal is simple. You aim for about 80% of your food to come from whole, nutrient-dense stuff. You know, lean proteins, veggies, fruits. And the other 20%? That's your flexibility. That's your real life. That's for the slice of birthday cake, the beer with your friends, the things that make life worth living, and make your plan actually sustainable.
And this is really the key takeaway here. The system isn't about what you can't have. It's about consistently hitting the targets that actually move the needle. And the big one is your total daily protein. See, getting enough protein is a game changer. It keeps you feeling full and satisfied, and it protects your muscle mass, which is basically the engine of your metabolism. Hitting these numbers is what gets you results, not being perfectly clean.
Okay, so our nutrition is dialed in with the 80-20 rule. Now let's move on to the second principle, which is all about managing your body's internal alarm system. And this is about more than just, feeling less stressed. We're talking about flipping a switch in your biology that tells your body to stop storing fat. Okay, think of your body as having two main modes. The problem is, modern life with the constant pings, the deadlines, the stress, it keeps most of us totally stuck in the fight or flight system. When that happens, your body is flooded with the stress hormone cortisol, which is a direct signal to store energy as fat, especially right around your midsection. To fight that, we have to deliberately activate our rest and repair system.
So how do you flip the switch? Well, it's actually way simpler than you think. A daily walk. It's not just exercise. That simple, rhythmic act of walking sends a powerful signal deep into your brain that you aren't being chased by a tiger, that you're not in danger. It literally tells your body that it's safe to power down the alarm system and switch into recovery mode. Okay, but what kind of a difference can something so simple actually make? Well, let's talk about your brain, and let's talk about this number, 2%. This comes from a major study looking at what happens to the hippocampus, your brain's memory center, when people just start walking consistently.
Now, let's be super clear. This isn't some magic pill to reverse aging. But what the study found was pretty amazing. After a year of brisk walking, participants actually grew their hippocampus by about 2%. Why is that such a big deal? Because that part of the brain usually shrinks by 1 to 2% every year as we get older. So walking is literally a tool to help protect the part of your brain that makes memories.
And the cool thing is, you get immediate benefits too. If you walk for just 10 minutes after a meal, it works like a metabolic buffer. Your muscles literally start pulling sugar or glucose right out of your bloodstream to use for energy, and they can do it without needing a big surge of insulin. The result? You prevent that big blood sugar spike, and you dodge that awful afternoon energy crash. All right, on to our third and final principle. And honestly, this might be the most important one, because this is where all the real repair happens. If your sleep is a mess, nothing else works right. It's time to install the sleep shutdown protocol. Think of this as your shutdown sequence. It's a simple, non-negotiable set of rules to engineer a great night's sleep. 10 hours before bed,
cut out the caffeine. 3 hours before, stop with the heavy meals or alcohol. 2 hours out, shut down all work. Let your brain cool down. 1 hour to go, no more screens. That blue light messes with your sleep hormones. And finally, when that alarm goes off, 0. You hit the snooze button 0 times. Get up.
And look, following this isn't just about falling asleep faster. It's about clearing out that mental fog that we all just kind of accept as normal. By putting a hard stop to work and screens, you give your brain a chance to reset its dopamine levels. It's basically like hitting the reset button on your brain's reward system, which helps reduce that constant itch for the next distraction.
Okay, so we've got our 3 principles, right? The 80-20 eating, the daily walk as a safety signal, and the sleep shutdown protocol. But what's the deep-down biological magic that ties all of this together and makes it so powerful? Let's look at your body's consistency engine.
It's a process called mitochondrial biogenesis. Now, I know that sounds super sciencey, but just think of it like this. Your mitochondria are the little power plants inside all of your cells. When you consistently get up and move, you're basically telling your body, hey, we need an upgrade. And so it starts building brand new, more efficient power plants. This is a huge deal because better mitochondria mean your body gets way better at burning fuel, especially fat, and you feel more energetic.
And that is why this all fits together like a perfect puzzle. The 80-20 nutrition gives your body the right building materials. The daily walk is the consistent signal to upgrade the hardware. And high-quality sleep is the critical downtime when all the construction and repairs actually get done. This isn't a quick fix. It's a marathon, not a sprint. You're not just losing weight, you are literally upgrading your body's central processor.
Which brings us to the single most important idea in this entire explainer. If you don't remember anything else, remember this. Your body does not care about one perfect workout or one perfect day of eating. It adapts to what it can trust is coming, day in and day out. Consistency is the only language your body truly understands. It's the only signal that triggers real, deep, lasting biological change.
Look, that all-it-or-nothing sprint, it's just a recipe for burnout. We've all been there. But this system, the one built on consistency and smart signals, this is built to last. So the real question is, are you ready to finally get off that hamster wheel and start building something that actually works?
If you're in, then go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss what's next. I've also dropped some links to a few really good tools for tracking your 80-20 meals down in the description. And hey, to make this real, to hold yourself accountable, drop your day 1 in the comments below. Let's do this thing together.